Good to see you, everyone. My name is Robbie Howell, and we recently got some more details on the upcoming Romans civilization for AoE2, and I thought it could be fun to take a look at what we know about the Romans as seen here on the AoE2 wiki, and compare them to my own Roman build that I did with longtime viewer and friend of the channel Lorenzo M way back in the day. This was like not a year ago, but like well over 8 or 9 months ago. So let's see how many comparisons we can find and how accurate of a theory craft that old build actually was. To start with, I'd like to draw your attention to the civilization ensign right here. Not bad when you compare it to what I came up with, eh? We have a kind of yellowish looking Boyd with a little boss in the center on a circular background. Only difference is that I went with a purple rather than a red because I felt like we had too much red in the game. I'm happy with that one, though of course it is one of like the least important elements of the civilization. Let's move on to the technology tree, starting with the legionary. A sturdy infantry unit replaces the two-handed swordsman and champion. What do we have here then? Is that possibly my legionary unit replacing the two-handed swordsman in my build as well? Not too bad, eh? The legionary that Lorenzo and I came up with also was a good bit tankier than a two-handed swordsman, but was also less high in terms of its damage. And they also have the centurion. Now, on the face of it, it's not very comparable to my build, because I went with the Vexillarius. However, my Vexillarius also has an aura effect on it, albeit a healing aura, unlike the Centurion having this militia line power aura, which I actually quite like as a mechanic, though I think that having the Centurion as a unique unit is kind of dumb, personally. In terms of their unique technologies, neither of these we were very close on. I obviously had a Federati unique technology that allowed you to train other civilizations' unique units. And I had one that made wonders cheaper and generate food, whereas they went with much more conventional ones. Ballistos, wow, must have taken you a million years to come up with that name, guys. Making Scorpion and Galley line fire faster than Comitatenses, making Militia, Knight, and Centurion lines train faster and get a charge attack. Now, this one doesn't make sense to me. The Comitatus was a Germanic institution that the Romans observed, and I suppose to some degree they replicated it, but having the Comitatus, or Comitatensis as they're referring to it here, be the unique Imperial Age technology for the Romans just seems off to me somehow. It's silly to me in a similar way to how the Italians' unique technology in the Castle Age being Silk Road is silly to me. Yes, the Italians did use the Silk Road. I'm sure the Romans did appropriate the concept of the Comitatus, but it's not really emblematic to the civilization in a way that I feel like a unique technology should be. The Romans had so many unique, vibrant, interesting things going on during this era that having it be an imported Germanic warrior tradition feels just very, very off. Don't like that one. It's also not the same as mine. On to the civilization bonuses. Their villagers do everything 5% faster. We did not have an economic bonus, like a true one on our build, specifically because we were trying to go for something a little more militarized, and I feel like, honestly, this feels like a pretty lazy bonus to me. Galley line +1 attack. I do think that having a water focus would have been a pretty good idea. We have like almost perfect dock, for example, and I'm pretty happy with how that came out. Plus, some of the other elements of our build make the Romans, like our Romans, better on water. So kind of a mixed one there. They do have a very high water focus here, which I find interesting. Infantry receives double effects from blacksmith armor upgrades. This is another one I will say that we actually got right. Blacksmith and blacksmith infantry technologies are cheaper and available an age earlier. Now, it's obviously not the same, but it is an infantry blacksmith bonus that makes it far better than you would normally expect them to be at a given state of the game. So I'd say that's pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that one myself. And then the pièce de résistance, Scorpion stuff. They have a team bonus about the Scorpion and Scorpion line being cheaper and benefiting from ballistics. Long time coming. We need more Scorpions in our lives. And we have a Scorpions cost -40% and benefit from ballistics right there on the build, baby. Breathe them in the weep. Oh yeah, I was so pleased with that. Woo! We actually got that one bang on the frickin' money. Like, not precisely the same, but man, is it ever close. So even if nothing else, I will take that as a distinctive win. Let's take a look at the tech tree real quick, see what comparisons we find there. Actually, ooh, look at that barracks. The barracks is actually really, really similar. So look, we have a fully upgraded barracks in terms of units minus the champion. And we miss supplies and squires. And what do they miss? Oh, they do actually get squires, but they do miss supplies. And I have mine with Gambesons, and they don't. But other than that, shared an idea to have them miss supplies but get a unique swordsman upgrade. Pretty pleased with that. Their archery range sucks balls, and our archery range is like a good deal better because we have access to Arbalester as well as Bracer is available in our blacksmith. They have it missing Light Cav and Paladin, and we have it missing, wouldn't you know it, a Light Cav and Paladin, though we also have them missing Husbandry, but then again, we didn't have a Cavalry unique unit. For Siege Workshop, we miss Siege Ram and Bombard. They miss Siege Onager and Bombard. That's actually kind of interesting. I feel like they were trying to go with a more like infantry synergistic thing, but the Romans were pretty famous for their use of catapults, so that feels like a miss to me. Dock. So they don't have any demo line or dry dock, and then they have this unique, not unique, but like regional Dromon thing instead of the Cannon Galleon. Now, that's another interesting one. I'm all for using specific names, and just X-Galley is kind of boring, but I don't agree with the use of the Dromon here because the Dromon was a much more specific ship than like a catapult siege-style ship. I would have liked to see a Dromon be a unique unit for the Byzantines, perhaps, and just call the early Cannon Galleon replacement the Catapult Galleon, like what I had on the Vandals, which is something I will take partial credit for, is they do have a Cannon Galleon replacement available, I believe, to a bunch of the other late antiquity civs, as well as the Romans, like the Goths and stuff. I think they get the Dromon as well. So I'm happy it's in the game. I just think it could have been implemented better. But obviously, we do have our build missing heavy demo ships, so there is a comparison there. But they obviously went a lot harder on missing the whole demo line, and also their galleons get a lot more love. Like, we don't have nearly as much water focus in our build. For Monastery, no Theocracy, Heresy, or Sanctity. Theocracy and Sanctity not being there seems really, really wrong to me. What do we have? We have them missing Faith and Atonement, so no Heresy for them, no Faith for us. Kind of comparable. No Atonement, I kind of prefer, I mean, obviously, because I made the build, right? But it just feels like more in line with how Roman religion worked at this time. They were a Christian nation. No Bombard Tower, but otherwise perfect defensive structures. I think that's the same. Yeah, that is the same. Okay, that's quite interesting. Yeah, I'm wondering whether they're going to launch a campaign. Maybe the wiki will have some insight on that. All the player names. Ricimer. Stilicho, he was Vandal. Odoacer, he was Goth. Come on, guys. Flavius Aetius, that's more like it. Majorian, yeah, that's more like it. Should have Siagrius in there too, shouldn't they? And then the wonder they are going with is the Colosseum. I mean, it's a beautiful structure, no doubt, but I feel like the Arch of Constantine would have been slightly more accurate. I'm not sure, though. This one I'm more mixed on, and I do really love the look of this model. And there you have it. I would say overall, we made a very accurate build to what the devs ended up implementing. Like, obviously, we didn't get every single thing correct, but the fact that we did get the Legionary pretty freaking accurate. Our Civilization Ensign was even a little bit close. We have a major Scorpion theme. The Catapult Galley, kind of, but that's from a different build than our Romans build, of course. And then an Infantry Armor Blacksmith upgrade thing. That's 5 through lines that we managed to actually tick off. Oh, and then their Castle Unique unit having an aura effect. I'm going to call that 6 wins. 6 wins for Robbie Lava and Lorenzo M off of our original Roman build. And, of course, if you'd like to see that original Roman build, go take a look up here right now. I'll put it in a card. But that's it for now, guys. Just a little fun thing to wet your whistle while we wait for further content down the line. Keep an eye out this coming Friday for a big religious-oriented build that I'm very excited to hear your thoughts on. And as always, my name is Robbie Howell, and ciao for now.